Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Sun4U Radio. My name is Damien. And finally, I'm actually not in the studio alone today because I actually have another friend with me. She is actually from Theatresauce. In case you guys don't know, Theatresauce is actually a company that do theater, different kind of theater shows and then drama. And this season has been quite a busy season for them because they are going to have 7 shows in total. So let's welcome our new guest speaker today first.
Hi, my name is Sheng. Thanks, Damien, for having me here today.
No problem. So let's dive into Theatresauce first.
Okay.
So can you tell the listener what Theatresauce is about? Like, do you know what? I don't know how to basically tell us more about Theatresauce, I would say.
Okay. Well, I would say first of all, just to caveat this, I wouldn't say I'm part of Theatresauce. I'm hired by Theatresauce for this production.
Okay.
But from what I understand, Theatresauce is a theater company that really champions new, original, exciting and bold type of work. Like for me, from the perspective of a performer, right? Theatresauce is like one of the only theater companies that, for example, has open auditions, right? For example, this season, I think it was at the beginning of the year, they had a huge audition where anyone could come to audition to be in these 7 shows.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Theatresauce is also one of the only companies, I would say, in Klang Valley that does like a lot of device work.
Yes, because I actually went to one of the past show, Come Home and Eat, directed by our most favorite lecturer, actually, Mr. Kelvin. He's actually the owner of Theatresauce also, the main owner. So if you guys have any question regarding theater, you guys can actually go and ask him. If you guys want to do, I think you guys can actually go and do volunteer work also for the shows. You guys can actually go and contact him. Hi, Mr. Kelvin. So, shall we talk more about your new upcoming shows?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, it's actually called Saturn Return. It's actually a very astrological name.
Correct.
Yeah, you can tell us more about what Saturn Return is about?
Okay. So, just to explain what Saturn Return means, right?
Yeah.
First of all, it's basically an astrological phenomenon that happens like every 29.5 years. So basically, every 29.5 years, the planet Saturn, it will return to the same position it is in the universe as when you were born.
Yeah.
Right? So this show is about us turning 30 or us being in our 30s. And when we go through a Saturn return, right, it is believed that you go through some level of challenges where you're like questioning yourself in a good way. You know, you're reflecting on who you want to be and being real with yourself about what you want to achieve or who you are as a person.
Sort of like a growing up phase and also sort of like a new beginning kind of thinking, I would say.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually went to search for because I had to do some research regarding Saturn Return, and I saw that the photos are actually very gorgeous because you guys have like different horoscopes inside. Yeah. And then are the horoscopes going to be related to this particular show?
I would say that it's indirectly related. So all 6 of us, we are of a different sign and we are a different personality.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we come together, we really sort of like, our energy sort of feeds off of each other. And we're really different people. And so that really affected
the whole vibe of the show, is it? The chemistry between you guys.
Our chemistry, exactly, right? So, and I think you will see that kind of shine through when you watch the show. You know, like, oh, this person has this particular vibe, or, if you check out we just sort of launched like interviews of all 6 of us on Theatresauce's Instagram, and at the beginning we introduced like our star sign, or was it sun sign?
Sun sign, moon sign, and then the rising size.
Yeah, but I think mainly we just focus on our sun sign, then we introduce ourselves based on that sun sign. So there are elements of it in the show, I would say.
Okay. I think that is quite new. And also quite fun also, since I think horoscope has been quite an interesting concept for all of us. You know, like for example, when we're bored, we go to look for horoscopes. For example, like today, what would it be like for a Libra? Would it be like for a Virgo? And then we'll just sort of like follow them, or sort of like just read. I mean, if it happened, then we'd be like, oh, it's very accurate. If it doesn't happen, then we'd be like, it's not accurate one. So I would say that it's quite a new and exciting show. Then can you tell us like how is it different from other? Because you mentioned that there are 7 shows, right?
Yeah.
Including Saturn Return. How is it different from the other shows?
Well, I guess first of all, right, like Saturn Return is the only all-female ensemble for Theatresauce's like 2023 production. And the show material, what we're talking about, I would say is also is just different because it's the experiences of being a woman, right? The experiences of being a woman in our 30s. And I guess like that's not something that you usually hear, right? I can't think of anything, any other content out there that focuses.
Yeah, I think it would actually be another. It's going to be a way to showcase how women in that 13 are like. I would say they are thinking, their way of finding themselves again, to sort of like transcendent into a new them, spiritually, I would say.
That's a good point. I would say that there is a spiritual element in this show. It's a lot of self-reflection. Yeah.
So if you guys want to actually know more about it, so please do buy a ticket and then go and look and watch them, I would say. So you guys can actually feel and see how is it like to be in, to understand the story, and maybe you guys might be able to find yourself also after watching the show.
I think so. I think the show is not just for us. I think it's very relatable for people, for others, right? You don't have to be in your 30s. You don't have to be a woman. It's very sort of universal stories about different forms of love, for example.
Okay. That's quite new, quite exciting. So we can talk about, we can take a music break first, and then later we will talk about the rehearsal, which should be very fun, considering that because you mentioned that you guys have a very different personalities with each other. So we will talk more about the rehearsal after our music break.
Okay.
See you guys later. Hello everybody, welcome back from the music break. My name is Damien and we have...
Sheng.
Yes, from Theatresauce. Okay. Yeah, from Theatresauce. And then welcome back from the music break. You are listening to another episode of Sun4U Radio. I just have to do that. So before the break, we actually talked about what Theatresauce is about and then what Saturn Return is about. So I think for now we can talk about how rehearsal is like. Because for the audience or the viewers or listeners, and not only for theatre, I think for any kind of performance, right, you usually have to do practice. After practice, then rehearsal. Then maybe for the show is only just 2 hours or 3 hours, but then you have no idea how much effort has been put into it literally before the show. So we can talk about that. How is it like for Saturn Return? How is it like when you are working with this kind of different people, different personalities? People?
Okay. So we actually started rehearsing in February.
Oh, it's actually quite long. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We've been rehearsing since I think early Feb. And this process is a bit different because we are devising, so we're creating things from scratch, right?
Yeah.
And we are following, so this is Mia's process. So we start with like building and then sculpting and then chiseling.
Okay, you need to elaborate about building.
Oh, yeah.
Building the stories, I would say.
Kind of. So the first part we built, I mean, in the sense we draw, I guess we devise or we draw a lot of from our personal experiences. So, for example, Mia will come into rehearsals and then she'll give us like a theme. So let me think of one of the themes.
Okay,
it was.
But don't spoil. Think of a theme, but don't spoil.
Oh, don't worry, it won't spoil the show. It will be like God in different forms, for example.
Okay.
And then that day we just have to. Maybe we split into a few groups or we devise as all 5 of us. Then we come up with, we will start talking first. We will share our experiences of, God in different forms, and then we will start creating based on what we share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's sort of like integrating 6 of your experience together.
Sometimes we will integrate all experience together to create something. Sometimes it will focus on one person's story. So it's very varied.
Okay, that's actually quite cool, and it's actually quite exciting because you have to know what is going to come next, right?
What do you mean?
So like, because you say maybe it might be focusing on only one person's story. Sometimes it might integrate everybody's story. So it's sort of like you don't know this story is going to be based on a person's experience or it's going to be based on everybody's experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is for the first step, right? The building step.
Yes.
Then the next step is sculpting.
Yes.
So for sculpting, it's sort of like, is it the integrate part?
Not really. It's more like, so during the building process we built a lot of stories, right? We built a lot of little stories from our experiences. Then sculpting, I guess, is choosing from these stories and then kind of refining it.
Okay.
Making it better, adding things, taking things out. Yeah, and slowly also finding the storyline, finding the thread that connects all our stories together.
Okay, it's actually quite. I mean, it's actually quite require a lot of works. That's why I think I understand why it takes so much time.
Yeah. A lot of work.
A lot of work, and not just for the director part also, right? Like everybody is like a part of the whole stories.
Yes. So we always have to. And it's very collaborative. The process is very collaborative. So, we're always all together in the same space. If Mia comes in, with an idea, then she'll put that idea on the table, and then all of us sort of help bring that to life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's actually quite require a lot of improvisational skill also, right?
Yes,
Because
I
you
would
have to
say
like resonate with the stories and sort of like bring out your own experience, and then require you to think of how to actually perform that.
yes, we definitely had to improvise a lot. And I would also say that for Mia, our director, a lot of it is thinking on her feet, right? Oh, let's do this. Oh, let's try this instead.
A lot of experiments also.
Yep.
Okay, that's actually very stressful at the moment I heard about it.
It's stressful, but it's also fun lah.
Yeah, okay lah. So that was during the beginning part, is it? Like, for example, February, March?
I think, I'm not so good with timeline, but I think build was until March. So after that, I mean, because after that we were going into sculpting, and I guess now we're really just
Practicing.
doing the final finishing touches.
Okay, Kat. So this whole process takes about 4 months.
Yep.
Okay. Is there any things that, like, for example, for you personally, any challenges that actually came out during the rehearsal?
A lot.
Maybe like tell us some of them?
Yeah, sure. Because, usually as a performer, you perform a character. Like, say you do a show by Shakespeare and you're playing Lady Macbeth. So you're playing a character.
Yeah.
But in Saturn Return, we're performing our own stories. So we are our own characters. And that's scary because you don't get to hide behind a character. You're just, this is me.
The most vulnerable you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know that there are some people that, I mean, in our society nowadays, we usually hide ourselves behind a mask so that we don't get hurt or people don't take advantage of us.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think this Saturn Return sort of like let all the characters to be you yourself.
Yeah, so, and that's very special. It's also very raw, but it's also very brave.
Are we going to cry when you watch that?
I think there are a lot of very touching moments in the show, and it's also a lot of fun. Yeah.
Can. So yeah, I'm actually quite excited. I think I need to buy a ticket already.
Please do. Please do.
Okay, so before we wrap this interview up, can you tell us more about the date and time, the information of the show?
Yep. So we'll be performing at Sunway Rooftop Theatre.
Yes.
From June 14th to June 18th.
Okay, so it's 4 days.
Yeah, so we will have nighttime shows for all the dates, and then on the weekends we'll have a show in the afternoon as well as at night. And if I'm not mistaken, let me just pull up
No problem.
So the nighttime shows are 8:30 and the afternoon shows, I believe, are 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, and should I share the ticket price?
You can just share it first.
Okay, so ticket prices are 55 ringgit, but if you buy a bulk of 4, it's 45 ringgit. And student bookings for
20 plus, is it?
35, but I think that's bulk booking.
Yeah, I think like if I'm not mistaken, one of it was like if you book 20 tickets for students, right? You get like a workshop or something, but that one was for come home and eat.
Okay, I'm not sure if we have that.
I think we can just post the information on the description also once we have gotten the information.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yep, no problem. So, are you guys still open for crowdfunding, or is that the past already?
I think our crowdfunding closed, but we'll be selling some of our zines and some merchandise.
Oh, that's merchandise.
Yeah, on our show they will be selling some stuff so you can support, as well as buying tickets is supporting us.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah.
So, so that is literally about the information for the show. So, let's wrap this up. Do you have any advice for maybe the future people who, just for everyone that wants to go into theatre or wants to be a performer or just any advice, I would say, general advice for life?
I would say if it's something that you're really passionate about, to just go for it. Like, there may be, a lot of different challenges. Theater is, generally not the most well-paid career, right? But if you stick to it, it can be really fulfilling. And just believe in yourself.
That's why you should go and watch Saturn Return to find yourself, guys. Okay, so thank you, Sheng, for actually coming for the interview.
Thanks, Damien.
It was very nice to have you. So we will now take a music break for a while, and then we will come back to you afterwards with just me alone. See you guys. Hello, welcome back from the music break. My name is Damien, and for you guys who have been listening from the beginning, I actually had a guest speaker just now, Sheng, from Theatresauce. So we're actually talking about the new show that they are going to put out called Saturn Return. For more information, you guys can actually go and look it up in the Theatresauce social media, or we will post the information in our stories, reels, or our posts soon. So yeah, it's just me again by myself, but I know that I'm not alone because I know you are actually listening with me. This would actually be the last episode that I'm going to be taking part of, because after the midterm break for degree student next week, I will step down from my position. So I sort of wanted to do a recap of my experience in Sun4U radio here, starting from Sunway FM and then slowly transitioning to Sun4U radio. The process was actually, thinking back now, you would feel that it's actually, a lot have happened, even though it's actually only been 3 to 4 years, but the whole transition was very huge. I started from being just a normal host, and then our show was actually quite different also. It actually started from a podcast style, and then it transitioned into this today's radio style. And then most of the hosts that I work with have actually graduated also, and the fact that I will be graduating after this sem is actually, I would say that it's, I'm quite happy that I graduated, but at the same time also seputala, which means I don't, what's that word again? Let me Google search. Sorry, I couldn't English for now. One moment. Reluctant. Yeah, I guess you could explain with that. So, yeah, you guys would actually hear about lots of different new hosts, since we actually going to transition into a much how to put this. Basically, we will be doing another full conversion of our shows, so it will not be different titles every week. It's going to be in a different team, and then hopefully we can manage to execute it after the midterm break next week. So for you guys that actually listened, hanging out with us since the beginning, thank you guys so much. And for the new people who only just listen, welcome to Sun4U radio. I would say that a lot of things has changed also, not just the radio but also the campus itself. When I just joined, there was no statue in front of the foyer, and then the shuttle bus was actually working almost every day. There would be 2 shuttle bus in operation literally, so we wouldn't have to be worried that there will be no shuttle bus or shuttle bus takes too long to come. And I was caught in the middle of a pandemic during my study years, and then we actually have to transition into online studying. We did some of our courses, our subjects online, and then afterwards, I would say the time flies quite fast. And then the fact that, now you think back, right? Thinking back about it now is you actually have been caught into so much things that actually happened throughout your study years. And the fact that I'm actually preparing myself to work soon after this semester, and also maybe pursuing an additional degree, additional education. It's quite terrifying, since I will be leaving this safe space, a safe environment for me, but at the same time it's quite exciting, I would say. So that's what I would say. But I hope that for those of you out there actually have still worried about your future, or just thinking about what to do next, or maybe you guys are basically worried about finance, your money, worried about a relationship, worried about your family. Hope I would want to tell you that everything will get better somehow at the end. So remember that you guys always have your friends to turn into, or your family, your partner. Basically, you will have someone that you can turn to, and then even if you don't, it's okay. It's fine. Just remember that you are strong, and you usually will have the ability to pick up yourself from all the faults that you have experienced before. But yeah, we will take another music break and then we will come back later. See you guys soon. Hello, welcome back from the break. This is Damien, and you are listening to Sun4U Radio. In case you're wondering, this episode is actually pre-recorded on 6th of June, so maybe there will be some sort of a time difference, but it's fine. So, basically, I want to tell you guys about what I've done during the weekend, since I have no idea what other things I can talk about. So, during the weekend, it was sort of a crazy experience for me, because I sort of went to not different places, sort of like for for Saturday and Sunday, I actually went to my friend's places, my friend's place, and then it was quite crazy because we actually stay up until like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then afterward we only go back to my own place. So it has been quite of a tiring 2 days for me, and I'm actually still recovering since if you guys can hear that my nose are actually still blocked. And then on yesterday, Monday, I went to Bentong, sort of like to I went to this place called Theatresauce Retreat to sort of like, just look around and experience the nature. It's actually quite relaxing since you are actually in touch with the nature, and then since we usually spend so many times on the phone, the computer, or in the city, so that also that's a pretty good getaway. And it's actually already the 7th week already. Can you guys imagine? And next week for the degree student, we actually have a midterm break, and then afterward we will only come back during the 8th week, and then another 7 weeks. Then we will be finishing the semester. So yeah, it's pretty fast. Like literally in the beginning, I started from week 1 talking to you guys, and now it's like week 7 already, and time flies, I would say. So that's what I done during the weekend. And then what else are there? Let me think. Yeah, I think like for now I sort of like doing this plan where like I have this group of friends where we actually will hang out every week, because they actually already graduated, and then they are working now, so it's very difficult for us to actually gather in campus anymore. So we sort of like make this plan that we will go and visit one of each person's house every week, rotating. For example, this week we will be going to my house, and then maybe next week we'll be going to another person's house. The next week we'll be going to another person's house, and then sort of like rotate. I think it would be meaningful since, after we graduate from campus, it will be very difficult for us to see each other. So it will be a very good way for us to actually still connect with each other. I know that there will be people saying that, good friends are like, you don't have to actually see every time in order to connect. And that's true. But I think it's very different, because it's like you sort of like get to see them and then interact with them again. And then I don't know, it just feels right for me to sort of like to be able to see them every week, and then just chit chat and then just have fun. And then we were like planning about different places to go for vacation. We sort of like wanted to do like a day trip in JB, or maybe like a day trip in Ipoh or Genting. So I mean, like we literally had the idea of like going to Genting at around 1 a.m. in the morning, but we were like too tired because we were like joking like, why don't we go to Genting now? And then they were like saying, okay, jom. But then after we like just like literally just stay on the couch for a while, and be like, no mind, let's not go there today because it's like too tiring. So I mean, like one of my friends, she said that we are still young, so that's why we should like go and do this kind of hot-blooded thing. Like for example, like going to Genting at around 1 something, and then like just go there and then look at the sunrise and then just come down, and then I mean, like it's quite true, but for me it's like how to say this? For me it's more like I wanted to do that, but at the same time I'm like too tired to do this. So maybe I will try to experiment with different kind of new hot-blooded thing in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much it from the show today. In the beginning, we had Sheng from Theatresauce to sort of like tell us more about the new show Saturn Returned. And then, yeah, you guys can just go and buy the ticket if you guys are interested, and then just go and watch them. Looking at how an art was actually made from scratch is actually a very nice experience. And I mean, it's okay for you to support local artists also, since like art is actually a very difficult career in Malaysia. So yeah, you guys can go and support, do some supporting, and then go watch them if you guys are interested, since like the performing venue would be in Sunway Rooftop Theatre. And I would say that that's all for the episode today. Thank you guys for listening, and this is Damien. do follow our social media on Sun4U underscore radio on Instagram, and then in our YouTube channel also, Sun4U Radio, Facebook. And then this would be the last time that you will be listening to Damien's voice. It was a pleasure to be able to talk to you guys and having you guys listen to me talking, and then it was a pleasure to be on the ride for Sun4U Radio. And yeah, hope all the best to you guys in the future. And this is Damien signing off now. Goodbye.